Okay, so welcome to the first screencast of SuperFunConquer. My name is Ben Joldersma, and I've kind of been doing most of the development work and design work for the game thus far. SuperFunConquer is a massively multiplayer online casual fantasy strategy game that's played right inside of your web browser, and in the game, players take on the role of houses, noble houses, in the world, and are sort of, along with their other peers and other noble houses who form a kingdom, they sort of work together, maybe work at odds with each other occasionally, to sort of develop fame and fortune and perform acts of heroism or acts of villainy. And this is all done in a backdrop of a world that is slowly being consumed by the forces of greed and chaos and hatred. And so the games kind of come to a very grim and epic conclusion in a series of 4 chapters. So now I'm going to log in as my House Cruel. I'm part of the, I think I'm part of Prinival, which is the kingdom that I'm with. And so this is the game. I've just logged in. Lots of the graphics data is stored on the browser after it comes, especially the terrain data. So I've got a knight, a hero here, who's Toland the Brave, and you can see that he's on these plains, and these are some of my buildings. This is my flag type here. It's a sort of like a burgy style flag, and all of my troops and buildings are decorated with that, so I can know who I'm fighting for. These are some of the roads that my guys have built, and up here I have some towers and some walls that are kind of, presenting a sort of a fortifications against the other kingdom that's on this test server, which is Theraval. Theraval's all the way up here. I'll show you real quick. So these are the Theravians here. Joseph Smith, the main protagonist of this force. So back to my city, and so this is one of my workers, and workers have these cards, and you can play the cards, and this is a build walls card, and I can put it down and put some walls in. But let's go ahead and look at my town hall. So in here you can kind of see just some of the resources that I've been collecting. So I've got a lot of wheat right now. I've got a few bows and some, a fair amount of stone and some iron. I've got some tungsten as well. At some point, I'm actually going to be able to use some of these resources that I've been extracting from the world around me to make more complicated resources and other kinds of weapons and stuff. So inside of my town hall, I can choose different kinds of cards that I want to build. And these cards, once they're built, I can give them to my workers, and the workers can play them in different parts of the world. And that's kind of how construction happens in the game. I can trade resources and different kinds of items if anyone's around, anyone's eligible or interested in sort of, engaging in those kinds of transactions with me. So let's just go ahead and sell some wood here. I'll sell 2,000 wood for like half a gold each, and see if somebody goes for that. But I don't know if anybody will. This is the kinds of units that I can currently recruit. If I had a church, I could build knights right now, but so I can make some archers here. So let's try this. I've just got let's go ahead and say we'll make Screencast archers, and I'll make a group of like 10 archers. I'll give them regular bows, and I'll give them some chainmail too, just so that they kind of have some defensive capability. So go ahead and order those units. presuming that works correctly, they'll sort of show up on the map, and then I can kind of send them around. So meanwhile, you can kind of see some of the other things that I'm doing. So, oh, there they are. Yep. And there's my, you can see my town hall just sent the wood out, and I got paid 1,000 gold for that. There's my archers. This is a sort of a logging camp that I've got going. Right now there's 950 units of wood in there in this woodcutter's hut. This one has 100. The way the resources work is you can turn on this resource view, and you can kind of see the resources on the map. There's iron, there's stone, there's wood, there's wheat. White mana is a magical resource. Green mana is another magical resource, and yeah. So I've got these quarries down here. These quarries are sort of picking up some stone for me and some clay. This mine here is picking me up some iron. This mine over here is getting me some more iron. This is a tungsten mine down here, so I'm picking up some tungsten as well as some iron, because iron is a little bit more of a prevalent resource. But the tungsten's pretty exciting stuff, because with tungsten I can go up to this foundry that I've got up here. That's my smithy. Go to my foundry, and I can make steel. And steel is something that you have to make with tungsten and iron. So 1 unit of each is combined in the foundry to create steel. So let's see if that works. It'll take a little while. Another big part of the game, besides just sort of this economic element and trading and sort of the military, moving these guys around, attacking things with them, is these heroes. So the heroes can do a lot of different things. They can, they can kind of augment units. They can augment buildings. They can, but this is an interesting thing that they do, which is they go on quests. And right now, these quests are kind of marked by this little blue icon here. So I'm going to go ahead and send him on a quest. See how that goes. And meanwhile, I'm going to move some of my my archers that I just made here. Oh yeah, so now you see he's saying there's a quest here. So I'm going to go ahead and embark upon the Mad Knight. And yeah, so let's do that. The timing's a little bit off, so it'll kind of pop up here and there, and that's kind of a known issue. So this guy, I'm gonna move him up to that tower right there, just to kind of protect my my city in case Joseph and Thiniel decides to attack me. Yeah, so that's kind of the idea of the game right now. The library is, a place where you can develop experience. I've got a Boyer's Hall where I can build bows. Go ahead and make 25 bows, but as my buildings get more complicated, more kinds of weapons will be able to be built in these places. Foundry we already saw. Trading house lets me, trading branch lets me trade resources with the trading company or with other players, and they actually puts them nearby, so it's a cheaper trade to make. Anyways, here's a quest that I just kind of my hero came across, and the storyline here. So these quests are kind of set up like choose the old school, choose your own adventures, which were pretty fun back in the day for me and for a lot of kids, a lot of people in sort of my generation and our generation, depending on the audience. And this is the Mad Knight. It's kind of inspired from Don Quixote. So you see a man riding on a road on a horse in the middle of the road. He carries a lance and is wearing a worn suit of armor with a helmet made from cardboard. As you approach, he shouts, "Swear before me that my noble lady, the lady Uquilda, is the most beautiful damsel in all the land. Swear it, or I shall run you through, vermin." So what do? You have a couple choices. You can attack the arrogant man and slay him for his insolence. You can recite a ballad full of pearly wisdom to help this man see the light of sanity. Or you can leave this crazy man alone and go along your way. So I'm just going to go ahead and attack this man, slay him for his insolence. I'm so offended by his petulance. And being from House Cruel, I just feel that's in character for my house. Yeah, so these troops are kind of moving, just gradually moving. It's sort of a slow moving game, so it'll take them a little while to get up to that tower there. And yeah, so I think that some of the elements of the game are just kind of really creating a flexible world where these different kinds of buildings exist and these resources and these different kinds of items that can kind of combine to allow players to give them this feeling of empowerment and sort of customizing and personalizing their little corner of the of this world, and participating in that way as the overall overarching storyline progresses. Anyways, the Mad Knight apparently is a better fighter than he looks, and he lands a crushing blow, knocking you out. You wake up sometime later, and you notice a small gift he left you in recognition of your valor. So that gift actually is we don't do a great job of showing that to the player, but that's actually like a little bundle of gold or whatever. It's actually one of the best outcomes to have happen for the Mad Knight quest. And it, interestingly enough, can only happen if you lose the fight with the knight. So behind the scenes there in that quest, we actually did some rolls in the server to see how Toland the Brave stacks up against the Mad Knight, and apparently Toland may be brave, but not so tough. Yeah, so that's kind of I think that's kind of a good start for a viewpoint of the game that we have at this point. I can kind of show. We'll do one more thing, just showing the cards. So let me just go ahead and transfer a building card. I don't know if I actually have any. I got some wooden towers. Let's go ahead and just build a wooden tower for this guy here. I'm gonna go ahead and pull one or two over, exchange them with the builder man. Then I'm gonna select this builder. I need to hit refresh here. I think we need a tower over here. Kind of just see, does this go through? Not going through. Let's try one more time. Okay, so put over 2 wooden towers. There we go. So let's just go ahead and take one of these. This allows the builder to place a small wooden tower on the map. So I'm gonna go ahead and double click that guy, and now I just kind of pick the destination for that tower. And if all goes well, we'll shortly see the tower kind of comes up in the next frame. So yeah, that's kind of that's sort of the tower experience. We're not seeing many resources come up. The game here is a little slower than on my local server, and so that kind of affects that a little bit. But yeah, so that's kind of the game yet. I can't really show you very much combat. We could move things over there, but we're just not really ready for that. So yeah, there we go. That's sort of the end of the first SuperFunConquer online screencast. So thanks a lot for taking the time, and yep, we'll talk soon.